Alright, here August 7th, I believe, 2025, in the backyard, downtown Toronto. Here's a kind of a view from the chicken coop. This is my netting to deter the hawks from attacking from above. We do get some perched on the buildings around here, the multi-story buildings. Anyways, today I am doing a couple things. I'm continuing to harvest some of the compost that the chickens have been creating um, in order to first kind of create a new seedling bed of soaked grass seed that I've dropped down here. I did one round a couple, maybe 10, 12 days ago, and a bunch of it sprouted. And then I reseeded it with some grain that you can see here, but I didn't do a very good job of burying it. So I'm trying to just use the bycatch of my sifting process to get another layer of compost over this grain, so hopefully it germinates and we continue to have more fresh grass for the birds to eat. This is Paulette. Hey Paulette. Oh, you're scared, you're scared, you're scared. It's okay, it's okay. And that's Claudette. Yeah, I'm using my little homemade compost sifter that I made last year or 2 years ago. Can't remember now. I think it's yeah, 1/4 inch hardware cloth, and I've got a little container that it's kind of undersized, but I didn't want to dig out the bigger one. So I've caught a bunch of compost so far. It's pretty nice. It's got straw in it, but it's really loose and it's a bit dry, but it's been really dry in Toronto over the last 4 weeks. And I've been watering the compost pile a bit. But I'm getting into the back. I've been harvesting from the front here, and I'm kind of getting into the back, and it's really nice and deep there. So I kind of wanted to catch on video some of this process. Basically, I'm going to use all that compost to mulch in the front yard, which was a new bed that me and my partner Sam unearthed from under concrete last spring. And we got some plants that are doing well, some plants that aren't doing so well. So I'm trying to add some amendments, and I'm going to add some organic matter to the vegetable bed with bought soil that might be contaminated with store-bought straw that maybe had pesticides on it. I'm not too sure, or sorry, herbicides. That's a story for another time. But finally, I'm going to be bringing a lot of this compost over to my other gardens at my parents' place and top dressing, and continuing to build some annual garden beds there as well, after the soil had been neglected for many years. So here it is. Here's hopefully you get a view of both the compost grabbing and the compost sifting. We'll see. I'm still working on my angles. So that's an example of a nice shovelful. It's really loose. It's really nice. The interesting thing about this compost bed pile, is that it started last. Oh, there we go. It started last summer as an experiment to repurpose, to try to create a mushroom bed using all the free and abundant cardboard that that piles up around here. I'm in Chinatown, Toronto. There's so many cardboard boxes from the local grocery store. There are compactors right beside my garage. So I actually cut and layered many layers of cardboard, and I threw down wine cap inoculated wood chips and soil that had been in my garden for two seasons by then, and kind of didn't. It never produced mushrooms. I don't know, it was a bit of a haphazard experiment, but the end result was that I had a pile here. I took out the parts of the paper that hadn't been colonized or covered enough to be decomposing, and um, and then I had another load of wood chips that I brought in this spring, which I've been doing every spring. And well, fall I do leaves, wood chips in the spring. I just covered it in wood chips and some straw, um, and then this became the chicken yard, and it's turned into this beautiful compost without much traces of any cardboard. There's still some. Here's the little pieces of cardboard here and there. There's also some other experiments where I had kind of made these mycelium logs. Why don't we just take a look for fun? So I've thrown these in there as well. Some of them are buried down underground. But yeah, this is just a breeding ground for grubs, which is, you know, didn't create mushrooms, but it's creating good chicken food. Look at all those grubs. I don't know what those ones are, but I bet the chickens will be happy to see that. Little grub habitat. It's a little island. I don't know, I guess I've heard that concept. If I don't disturb this, hopefully the grubs will keep using it as a refuge to keep reproducing and seeding the compost pile full of proteinaceous larvae for the chickens to get on occasion. Here, chickens. All right, I'm going to do some sifting here, and so after I've sifted over the grass beds, I'm going to start sifting over this little garden bed here. I guess you could call it a guild. It's got pawpaw. This is a 3-year-old pawpaw graft that I put in this spring, and it's mating pollinating partners in the other corner of the yard. This spot was pretty compacted, and this plant wasn't looking good at the beginning, which I was worried about because I spent some good money on it. But yeah, beside it I've got this black locust that has been growing for 3 years, I think, and a mulberry, and black-cap raspberry that I planted last spring, and bee balm, golden Alexander, lovage that's kind of tucked away and hasn't taken off yet, and some volunteer trees, and a sorrel. So yeah, I've been letting the chickens, I've kind of expanded the chicken run into there. I'll show you here. Kind of expanded the chicken run into there, and been letting them eat the sorrel. They love the sorrel, and just have some space there, and, you know, let them kind of graze and fertilize. But I thought, why not sift the compost over there, keep some extra organic matter. And so that's my next step, and that'll probably be the end of this video. Yeah, there they go, going for the grubs there, pecking apart that cardboard mushroom log. Look at that. I love it. I love watching the chickens go for that. Scratch away, guys. All right. Try to mount this again, see if I get a decent angle. I'll do probably 2 more loads of the compost sifting. Goes pretty fast, and then taking the big chunks and dropping them into a new corner of the chicken compost here. I guess I'll start to throw my food scraps into that where there's the bigger chunks of wood. Alright ladies, I'm gonna come in here for another scoop. Don't mind me. If you can join me, please. They've been actually getting back there more. Those chickens getting into the corner of the garage there, kind of carving it out. They've been doing a lot of good compost sifting work. I can't believe this was all that cardboard has disappeared into there. Actually, here's some, oh yeah, there's still some lots and twigs and stuff. Yeah, there's branches and stuff that haven't fully decomposed here. Some nice mycelium on there. I don't know if you can see that. I can't really focus the camera really well. Alright, ladies, I'm coming around. Make way. Yeah, this hasn't been touched in a year. Okay. Oh, that's like black gold there. One more. Hey, hey, hey. Coming in. Watch your legs. All right. All right. That's a nice haul of compost there. And pawpaw. That actually fell off to the side. Yeah, but let's see. Good for now. Oh, that is obscene. These are fly larvae, probably fly larvae. There's so many flies in this chicken yard right now. Alright, that's enough for now. Gonna get the compost out of my slippers. Yeah, pretty good haul of compost. Homemade compost from natural and recycled materials. Peace.